Hey, it's all about quality, not about quantity, right? Let's get back to another round of Brewsday Tuesday with DreZ and Big Nate.
hmm The very rare can and bottle popping combo. It is Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg, where these beers came from. And more specifically, this beer that I popped came from my favorite place in the cellar. If you go in, the very first wall of beer, that first side I guess display. That's
Yeah.
where all the really big, awesome beers live.
It's weird. You and I have the same favorite place.
That's where you want to look first, honestly. And if there's anything on that section that you haven't had before, you grab it. Case in point, me picking up the Firestone barrel aged. I'm probably gonna not say this right, but whatever. Parabolita.
Sounds Italian.
It does, but it is a salted caramel variety, bourbon barrel aged stout with vanilla beans, cocoa nibs, and sea salt, coming in at a nice, respectable 9.2%. Firestone does a lot of good beers.
And they have a strong portfolio. I don't think there's anything that I've been like, man, this sucks. What are they doing at Firestone?
Yeah, none come to mind. I really like their Union Jack. If I ever see that, I'm usually like, all right, that's a good go-to.
Yeah.
If I can't find anything else I haven't had, I'll probably go for a Union Jack.
No, they're solid. Meanwhile, that brings me to the beer I've got, and Abita. I love some of their beers. Some of them not so great.
This one this one was a question mark for
This
me.
one might go either direction. Of course, last week we had Cajun chips. Now we're having Cajun beer. Fluffernutter. It's a white stout, 8% ABV. I vaguely like. There's obviously marshmallow involved. I've never had a Fluffernutter. I don't know what it is. I know, like, I've heard the phrase before. Is this like a snack?
So
or
here's
dessert?
here's the thing, because I'm curious what your take on it was, because before we open up the microphones, we started to have I think there might have been some confusion of what you think a Fluffernutter is versus what I think a Fluffernutter is. So growing up, a Fluffernutter was a sandwich. There was you spread peanut butter on one slice of bread, and then the other slice of bread gets that, like, the
Marshmallow fluff.
Exactly. There you go. Fluff, nut, Fluffernutter.
Okay. So I'm very purposely not reading the back of this because I'm sure it might give away some context clues, the answer. But in my brain, and again, this is based on nothing. Marshmallow has never been one of my things, so never really pursued it. I was imagining the peanut-shaped cookies, and then there's like a fluff layer in between, and then another peanut-shaped cookie.
So those peanut-shaped cookies, are you talking about, what are those? Where it's just like,
well, they're not fluffernutters.
No, sounds definitely not fluffernutters. So you thought that they were, those, or you make your own. You take those cookies and you put.
No, I thought those were fluffernutters.
No, I don't think so. I can't remember what those are called. Those are like, what are those? Where it's like a peanut shaped cookie and then like peanut butter and then a peanut shaped cookie. It's already like a sandwich with peanut butter in there, I think.
It's kind of like Oreos.
So you take that and then you could, I mean, now we're talking
real crazy.
Now we're talking. Now you can almost make it like almost like a s'mores kind of a deal. You grab one of those, you throw some mallow on it, maybe a piece of chocolate too, just for good measure, and then another one on top. And then there you have it, man. That could be a whole new deal.
I love that you said mallow. That's very Sandlot of you. What? So I'm going to read this description. It's a white stout, which I've never had a white stout.
That's why
I haven't even poured it yet.
That was the first thing that jumped out at me.
Brewed with milk, sugar, vanilla, and peanut flavor. There's no marshmallow in there. Sweet golden ale. This is not an ale. Boasts a creamy mouthfeel layered with flavors of toasted malt and notes of marshmallow and peanut butter.
The cookies you're thinking of, I just looked it up. Nutter Butters. So I could
So
see
it
where the
had nutter.
confusion. I could see
So
where the
the
confusion
sandwich would be
comes in.
called a fluffer nutter butter.
A fluffer nutter butter.
We're gonna
Oh.
make that happen.
Oh man. All right. I would
Cheat week?
try it, but I don't know if I'd like it.
Well,
Because honestly,
you
I'm not
gotta know.
I'm not a big mallow guy either. Like really peeps and stuff, all that stuff. I'm not a fan.
Well, even s'mores, like the thing that makes it is the chocolate and the graham cracker.
And the fact that it's melted mallow makes a difference.
I also like, you've seen me in action. I like the marshmallow on fire, and it's got to be charred.
Mm-hmm.
You need that smoky flavor. You should always smoke your s'mores.
Yeah. We disagree on that. Slow.
It's not a roast. It's a marshmallow.
Yes. No, you want it nice and melty. If you just char it, then it's not melted on the inside, you know?
Oh, it is.
Not enough. Because you need to have the mallow hot enough that it melts the chocolate when it gets on the graham.
Yeah. My chocolate's always pretty melty.
Mm-mm.
The real move, this is a fluffer nutter butter. A s'more made with Reese's peanut butter cups.
That's great. The problem is Reese's are too thick and it doesn't really melt.
No, they've got Reese's Thins now.
Oh.
They're
I know.
about half the depth.
You're acting like you've done it with Reese's Thins. No, you haven't.
No, but in my brain I can visualize it.
But if they have Reese's Thins, if that is a thing, how does that come packaged?
I don't know. I've never.
Because
like my goal.
It can't
is
be
to
two
have,
Reese's Thins and a normal Reese's.
Like,
that'd be nothing.
the best time of year is the Reese's peanut butter cups. You get the bats or the pumpkins, or you get the trees, because they're those big.
They do the
mothers.
Santa ones too, right? Do they do Santa
never
Reese's? I'm sure
Thought
they
it-
do.
I mean, they probably do.
Yeah.
So I guess you do want a thicker Reese's, but so no, I've not bought the Thins. We'll have to try it.
No, that would be the way to do it though. If you are going to go that route, which I have tried, and it is still good, but it doesn't really melt it. That's the same problem I've run into with getting one of the bigger Hershey bars for trying to do s'mores. Is those are the thicker cuts, and you can't have that. It needs to be the nice thinner ones so that it gets melty. You know, I've tried it. Been there, done that. We're also, and I think we brought this up before, I'm a fan of using the dark chocolate on the s'mores because you're already getting the sugar with you're getting a lot of, the mallow. It helps to balance it out and make it not super, super sweet.
I'm sure they still do, but like Jet Puff for the longest time bragged that marshmallows were a fat-free food. Let's not consider the amount of sugar in it.
Yeah. That makes sense. I'm not a nutritionist, but I'm pretty sure that probably
fat-free because, well, if you want a dark moment in your life, look up where marshmallows come from.
Oh dear. Let's not go down
Same
that
with
road.
Jell-O, gummy bears, all of my favorite things, except for the marshmallows.
So yeah, I forgot that was a white stout. So yeah, I'm looking over at you and I see, if you're watching on the Facebook Live or the YouTube, I mean, you would think he's just drinking like a lager or something over there. That does not look like a stout to me. I'm curious as to if it actually tastes like a stout.
It smells delicious, but
doesn't taste. Have you not sipped it yet? We've been babbling this long.
Like,
oh my gosh, we're like 10 minutes in already. We've been talking
talking about the beer. We're not drinking it.
All right, fair enough. Well,
have you been drinking?
That's where you and I differ, man. Yeah, I'm already halfway through what I've poured from the Firestone Parabolito. I don't know what that stands for. I feel like I should
do some Googling, do some research.
Parabolito.
So
it's just the beer. Maybe it's its own thing. They came up with it.
I mean, this beer's fascinating concept. I don't know.
So you never had a fluffernutter?
Never had a fluffernutter. And I don't think after tasting this that I would want to have like, do you use white bread, wheat bread?
I mean, I think the
French
classic
toast?
the classic would be
French toast would be good.
The classic would be just proper white bread.
Okay.
Standard. But I don't know. I mean, I haven't had one in I couldn't even tell you how many decades. That was definitely a childhood thing. And it wasn't even a child. We never even did it at our house. It was like
not my childhood. That was someone else's that I got to go visit.
No, you go over to a friend's house or, something like that. But we never had mallow the whatever you call it. Would you like, or it was in a jar? We
The
never
jar of fluff.
We never had the fluff jar in our house growing up. We had peanut butter, of course, but never had fluff.
Just that's one of those. Like there's only one application of fluff, and that's to make something very not good for you.
Fluffy.
Yeah, like it's just, I don't know, outside of candy, which candy and soda, all aboard. Marshmallows just seem too decadent for me.
Mm. Decadent? Really? Marshmallows?
Well, yeah, I mean, Thanksgiving's coming up, and people are going to make their sweet potato casseroles.
Yeah.
And the marshmallows on top, like sweet potatoes are fine by themselves. Like I don't want the marshmallows. I will not eat your sweet potatoes if marshmallows are on top.
I don't shun away from a little mallow on top of the potatoes. So I
Can't
think
do it.
that's fine with me. Let's make those sweet potatoes a little sweeter.
Sweet potatoes are fine by themselves.
Now you got me all excited for Thanksgiving. All right. Let's go ahead and untap these beers. I got a feeling, so you're not impressed with the Nutter Butter.
I will say the ABV and the label
the
Fluffer Nutter.
Fluffer Nutter. Yeah. Sorry.
I do love Nutter Butters.
Yes.
The ABV and the label.
Was it 8%, right? So that's not
8%.
bad. Not bad.
ABV and label will give it some points.
So that's that might have a, what did it say was in there? Is there sugar? Because
there's no mention of marshmallow.
I know
Milk,
that
sugar, vanilla, and peanut flavor.
it's
Peanut flavor.
It's the sugar that gets the higher ABV. When you put sugar and stuff, when you're brewing with that, it can up the ABV in the process, which is awesome. And is it sweet? Does it taste sweet? Too sweet?
It's not pleasant.
Mm.
It tastes exactly like what I imagine a fluffernutter tasting like based on your description. So if you like fluffernutters, you may like it. I don't. This is not my bag, baby.
Well, it's kind of like, well, sorry I gave that one to you then.
It's
Maybe we should have flip-flopped it.
It tastes exactly
the beer IPA you gave me, that was not my bag either. That was, I mean, maybe about a little over half what you scored it, I would say. That was like a 3.5 in my book. So
it tastes exactly like what I think it's supposed to. There's nothing that is off-putting. It's just flavors that don't appeal to me.
mm-hmm.
With that considered and knowing what I know about a Beta, I'm going to go ahead and try and be fair. I'll give it 3.25. Also, they're making the only white stout I've ever heard of.
3.25. Wow. All right. So that's not impressed. Not impressed at all. Well, on the flip side, if you go to the end selection over there at the cellar, like I was talking about, man, get yourself one of these barrel-aged Parabolitas, because this is damn tasty. It's sweet, but not too sweet. It's bitter, but not too bitter. It's got the right aromas, and it's got the fantastic 9.2% ABV. I'm feeling pretty good. Maybe I should have eaten something earlier today, but
Fluffernutter, perhaps.
I would down a Fluffernutter right now. I can tell you that. It would actually probably go quite well with the salted caramel of the Firestone. Yep. I can taste it. It's a 5. That's a great beer. That beer.
I'm most excited for that one. Plus, there's a bear on the label.
Yeah.
Which they always
per usual.
have a bear
when you
on
get
the
the
label.
Firestone, that's what you're getting. So, all right. Well, that's a wrap on Brewsday Tuesday. We will take a quick break and we will get back with some tunage. In fact, we'll kick it up a notch with just tunes. Our own JT is taking over from here on out. Have a fun and safe rest of your evening. Tomorrow, I'll be back to rock your socks off right here, 105.3 The Bear. See you.